When we reviewed the P365 macro, a lot of you were curious about velocity difference because this has the standard 365 barrel length versus the XL because it is a larger gun. So how much are you losing when you carry this versus this? There have been some tests out there. I don't think they're necessarily fair. So we got 4 different defensive loads. What do we got here, Tia?
We have 135 grain Flex Lock by Critical Duty. We have the 124 grain Jacketed Hollow Point by Sierra. Those are brass. I don't know.
120, yeah. Okay.
And then the Winchester Silver Tip, because those are Graham's favorites. 115 grain Defense Jacket of Hollow Point. And then the Liberty Ammunition Civil Defense. These are a plus P in 50 grain.
And they've got stated velocities on the box. We're going to chrono them through these 2 guns, and then since we don't quite have a 4-inch SIG, trying to keep it in the family, we've got our fancy 320 carry here, which is a 3.9-inch barrel. Since this is an expensive test to do, we're going to fire 3 rounds of each load through each thing. You guys will see the velocity. We'll do the numbers, which will magically appear on the screen, so you can see what kind of energy there is. I'm really curious. The reason why we went with 4 different loads like this in such a wide range is your velocity loss per barrel length inch, so to speak, is somewhat load dependent. So we wanted to see, since they're defensive guns, what 4 different loads would do.
How those loads affect or show the difference? Yeah,
some are going to be more sensitive than others. Like I think this plus P, we're probably not going to see a big difference. I think the 135 grain, we might. And then we've got our 3.9-inch as a baseline.
I'm just here to learn.
Math time. First load, the Liberty Civil Defense, 50 grain plus P, stated velocity of 2,040 feet per second. Don't know what barrel length. We're gonna start with our 3.9-inch barrel, 3 shots, and bear with us, folks. Our chrono has seen some better days, so it may or may not be reading in meters or feet. 624, that sounds like meters. 636, 628, and now through the magic of editing, you'll see the energy. Same load now through the Sig 365 XL. This is a 3.7-inch barrel. We've stepped it down 2/10 of an inch. Is it going to make a difference? 652, 643, 646. Just meters, that seemed faster. Now the 3.1-inch barreled Sig Macro. 620, wow, that percussion. 625, I really feel the percussion with this plus P. And 607, and the magic will tell us the energy. Next up, Winchester Silver Tip, 115 grain, stated velocity of 1225 feet per second. I have to wait until I get home and do some math, figure out what it runs, thanks to our chronograph. 3.9-inch barrel out of the Sig X Carry sort of build. 342, 348, 347. Man, it feels slow after that plus P ammo. Now our 3.7-inch barreled Sig X 365 XL. 353, 346, 352. Once again, our XL seems to be beating our 3.9-inch. And lastly, out of the 3.1-inch macro, 340, 331, 337. Sierra Outdoor Master, 124 grain hollow point, no stated velocity. Just says that it's brass, which of course, whatever. 3.9-inch barrel out of our X Carry-ish gun. 1056, now we're back to feet per second. 1044. 1026. Now our 3.7-inch barreled Sig 365 XL. 325, that's meters per second. 319. 322. Lastly, our 3.1-inch barrel for the Sierra. 321. 313, 314. Not a lot of loss on those 124s. Hornady critical duty, 135 grain, stated velocity of 1,010 feet per second. Unfortunately, our chrono seems to make up its mind as it goes. 3.9 inch barrel as our baseline. 304 meters a second. 291. 305. Next, 135 grain out of a 3.7 inch barrel, the 365 XL. 310, 310, 312. Now the 135 grain out of the 3.1 inch barrel from the Sig Macro. 299, 302, 303. You guys know better than I do because you got to watch the math that I have yet to compute as of the moment we're filming this. But it seemed to me like the 135 grains were the most sensitive to barrel length. The 124 is the least. And here's the catch. It's not particularly all 124s, it's that particular load, which is why when some of you said, oh, Taryn Butler said it's a 15% loss, blah, 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 and just ran with it. It really depends on the ammo you're using and also depends on, the projectile weight, the powder burn rate, all of these things go into factor. So whether or not gaining compensation is costing you critical energy depends on the load you're going to use. Thanks for watching.